Hello and good morning. Am I audible? Is the sound okay? Is the sound okay? Please give me a thumbs up. Yay. So happy Diwali, everybody. And it's so good to be with the viewers on a Diwali morning. First of all, thank you, Riverba, for giving me this opportunity and this platform to talk about my entrepreneurial journey and my forte, which is baking. I'm Priya Tamuli, owner and proprietor of Meraki Cakes. We basically deal with customized cakes. We initially started with customized cakes, but now we have expanded our product line, and we are doing a lot of breads, a lot of cookies, a lot of festive hampers. We do dessert tables and almost anything that comes to your mind when it comes to desserts, baked desserts basically. So should we start on our Manas? Should we start? Talking about the entrepreneurial journey, I had no idea that I will be actually doing something in my life which will be related to baking. It was completely out of the blue, and I had no idea, no background in baking before. I started with my baking courses when I was back in Seoul, in South Korea, and it just came to me. It wasn't, when I took up the courses there, I had no idea I'll be taking it up professionally. So I did it just because I loved baking and wanted to learn more about it. So I joined baking classes, but they were quite professional, very professional baking classes in Seoul. It was a wonderful experience. Like they had huge kitchens, something I had never ever seen in my life before, and there were so many protocols which needed to be maintained while in a professional kitchen. The ovens were huge. There were so many professional equipments which I had no idea about. But yes, I was there to learn about the field, and it gave me immense knowledge about the field of baking. And then this was way back in 2015, yes. And then later on, I was back in India, in Guwahati, by 2016, and at that time I wasn't working, so I wanted to try out something on my own. And I started very small, like I had a small oven at home, and I just thought to myself, maybe I can do cakes for my friends and family, and I started it that way. I had a few ingredients. Coming from Seoul, it was very difficult for me to source ingredients right here. So initially, I did not have a lot of ingredients, a lot of equipments that were needed. But gradually, I had to import a lot of things, and I started with catering to my friends and family first, and then that gave me a lot of boost actually. And later that year, I think it was around this time of that year, 2016, there was a competition in Guwahati which was held by Priya Hockey and Panasonic. It was a big competition in Guwahati, and I just went there just for fun actually, and I had no idea what is it going to be about. I just knew we had to present our cakes, and I went there with this flavor of cake which was made from pumpkin puree. So my cake was pumpkin puree and spicy buttercream, and I had a very unique kind of decoration on it. And I went there, and I won the competition actually. So that gave me a big boost to my confidence, and to think about baking in terms of taking it up professionally or as a career. And I came back with a big oven. Yeah, that was very delightful. But that competition, I would say, was quite a turning point in taking up baking seriously. So after that, I think I made up a page for myself. But back in 2016, home baking or catering from home was something very, very new, something that was not really heard of often. Actually, even I did not know that there would in the coming 2 years there would be something, there would be a career called home baking or home bakers. I had no idea about that, and I just started with a page which was Meraki Cakes, and to my delight and for God's grace, I started receiving orders. Yes, it was a few in the first few months. The orders were few, but they just keep rolling in, and to my delight, of course. Right after that, then I started with of course this home venture was there, and I started working on my personal skills. I started on my personal improvement. I took up a lot of courses after that, which I thought would be very important if I want to take this up seriously. The first course that I took after starting Meraki was a course in flour making, edible flour making. That's something that you see a lot in televisions nowadays, with like wedding cakes with huge flowers on top, realistic flowers, and they're all edible. They're made handmade. They're painstakingly made. So that was something that was not available in Northeast, or also scarcely used in India back then. And my mentor was a globally renowned person, and we had this class for almost 3 intensive days, and now but back then it was a very expensive course. But now when I look back on it, it is one of the best investments that I could do for my career. Because now we are quite known for the kind of flours that we make, the kind of botanically correct flours that we hand make and put on our cakes. So I'm quite glad that when it comes to floral cakes, people usually talk about Meraki Cakes. So here I would like to tell the future entrepreneurs who want to take up anything new in their career paths. I would like to tell them that please invest on the personal development, on the skills. Take up courses, and courses, not just any courses. There'll be a lot of cheaper courses also YouTube is there to help you out, but YouTube cannot be a substitute for mentors that have spent years building the trade or working on the trade. So my advice would be to take up courses or get mentored by people whom you idolize in the business or the trade. So do not rely on YouTube videos. YouTube videos are for trial and testing, which will probably take you years to learn what a good mentor can teach you in a few days or a month. So always go for globally renowned mentors or somebody who is there in your city but is very, very good in the trade. Also, after that, I took up a few more courses which were not available in the Northeast back then. It was one of the courses I took up from Karen Portelio. She's from US, and she is globally renowned for making chocolate caricatures and the whole bust cakes and facial features right out of chocolate. It is so realistic that in a photograph, people will not be able to tell if it's a cake or chocolate or a real person. So, yeah, that gave me a big boost in my career and something that I'm really proud of. And then later on, we started with Meraki in 2018, very early phase part of 2018, and it's now on Zoo Road, on somewhere between Manik Nagar and Sundarpur. It's on the road itself. Please drop in whenever somebody is passing by. We give you good coffee and tea along with a lot of desserts. After putting Meraki on the map, I was happy to be one of the top 25 in the country to be featured in Magic Colors competition, which was a countrywide competition. And also in 2019, I had the opportunity of representing the Northeast, not just the Northeast actually, the whole entire Eastern zone in the first ever Indian Cake Awards, which was held in Mumbai. And it was a very, very proud moment to see your name and your venture's name on a big screen. That was last year. And we made all this in a very short span of time. But what I would like to advise is do not run after the revenues immediately. Love what you do. So, when you're putting in a lot of work into your product, when you're putting in a lot of effort into your product, the revenue will just come. It'll be a byproduct, I will say. So just have fun with your work. Every day going back to work should be like, yay, I'm going back to work. It shouldn't be like Monday, you have Monday blues or something. We did concentrate a lot on our flavors. Back then, customized cakes was something very, very new in Guwahati or in the Northeast. But it's not just about pretty cakes. Pretty cakes, people will probably order once or twice. But later on, it always comes to what suits your palate, right? So I would always say concentrate on the basics first, get them really strong. And yes, the pretty cakes are always in. Everybody wants a pretty cake and to post pictures on social media right now. So that is another important point. Also, building relationships, building a very strong relationship with your client is very, very important part of your trade. Because cakes. When I talk about myself, cake is something very emotional, nowadays. People take it as one of the most important part of the celebration, and if that gets ruined, the whole party gets ruined. So every time delivering something new and something out of the box, something more than the client expects, should always be in your mind. And when the client is super happy, they always keep coming back for more. So I've been in operation for probably 4 years now, and there are clients who have been coming back for all these years without giving a second thought. And that comes when there is a lot of consistency in the work. That comes when there's a lot of dedication in the work. And also newness. A newness matters a lot. You have to constantly keep improving, constantly keep creating new stuff, constantly creating magic in your work, because nobody wants the same cake year after year. So in terms of flavor, in terms of designs, in terms of how the look is going to be, you constantly need to keep inventing on that. And then coming to downfalls or mistakes or stumbles, yes, we have them, like every other entrepreneur or every other person who's into any field of work. Mistakes are inevitable. We are humans, we're not machines. I'd like to share a small story. It's a true story, of course. Like last year, there was usually we are very, very careful with our cakes, and I wouldn't say it was exactly our mistake, but there was this cake which had flowers on it, okay, and flowers, of course, are made out of sugar, and we have edible, not exactly edible, but food grade wires going in them. And this cake had a lot of small flowers on it, and maybe our client, she was ordering for the first time, or she wasn't really aware of what goes into floral cakes, and I forgot to educate her about it, and I was quite taking for granted that she'll know, actually. So we delivered the cake, and then she calls me up frantically saying there are wires in your cake. I was like, how can there be wires in my cake? From her call, what I understood is that there are wires in the cake, like while baking or something, or there was a mistake on our part. But then later on, I got to know that she was talking about the flowers, the wires that were in the flowers. And of course, it was a huge thing. She actually posted it on social media, and that this is what Meraki is delivering, and this is what was found inside the cake, or there were children in the party, and there could have been a big accident because of the cake. But how we took it is that there are wires in the flowers every time, and we do educate the clients, but this time we missed it. We missed telling her and educating her that this is what goes into it, and you need to be vigilant. If there are children in your party, you need to be vigilant about it. You need to pick them out before you cut the cake and serve them. So that was one very, very important thing that we learned from that incident, that do not take your clients for granted. Educate them each and every time. Take extra precautions. And if you think you're going to miss out, print it out. Just print out all your do's and don'ts on a paper so that you don't miss it, and so that the client doesn't get back to you saying that this is I wasn't told about this. But we did apologize, because client is always right, and you have to treat them well. And we did apologize for what we did, and we sent her a apology letter too, and we also sent out, we of course refunded the entire money. We gave her a special cake, and see, that's how you learn from your mistakes are going to be there, that's inevitable, but your approach to it should be like, I have to learn from this, not that it's going to bring you down or it's going to stop you from what you're doing. Just take it as a learning lesson, learn from it, and go move ahead with it. And now I think she will be ordering soon, I'm sure, and there were a lot of other people who as well in the party too who have been ordering. So just win the people back, win their confidence back. Don't never act like you don't care for your clients. You always have to be there for your clients. They are your number one priority. Also, then I would like to say that initially when you start out, you are doing everything on your own. Like when I started out with baking, I was baking, shopping for the ingredients, taking calls, designing cakes. I was communicating with all my clients. I was cleaning in utensils, doing all the filling, frosting, the basic handwork and everything. So you're quite dependent on yourself, and you know what you want, though it is a lot of work and a lot of hard work, but you know what you want, and you're doing exactly what you want. But as your business grows, and as there are more and more orders pouring in, and there's more that you have to cater to, you need to delegate work. You cannot be the person who is sitting and actually doing all the chores. You cannot be that person. So delegation of work is another very, very important aspect of any business, so that you as an entrepreneur can concentrate more on the marketing skills, concentrate more on how to improve your products, concentrate more on how to reach out to a larger audience, I would say. So and this is a very important part of scaling up, how to increase your revenues. So delegation is very, very important, and to train your staff how they will be handling each and every order, what do you need to discuss with the clients. These are fundamentals of scaling up. Also, for delegations, you need to make your staff clear that this is how Meraki works, or this is how your enterprise works, and this is how we are different. This is how our approach is going to be. So that is one very important aspect of scaling up and making your empire grow step by step. Then is there anything that the audience wants to ask? Is there anything I can help with? Also, there's one important thing that I would say is think out of the box. See, when I started in 2016, there was no category as home bakers or doing customized cakes or something. It was very new. But today I would say there's probably a home baker in every house, and everybody is especially after the lockdown, I would say there's everybody who's doing their own cakes, doing their own breads, which is of course a good thing, but gaining a foothold in the field right now would be difficult than what it was 4 years back. So do not jump in just because this is the trend. Study the market and see what new can be done. Just see what the market needs right now, see what the people need right now. Say there are a lot of home bakers right now which do not have delivery facility. So maybe you can reap that opportunity and create a delivery service which would pick up cakes and deliver to their clients. So be an opportunist, see the opportunities that the market is providing right now, and do not just jump into something that is trending and something that is something that everybody is doing. Think out of the box. Think what else can be done, what else can be created, how can the situation be manipulated, and also, first, when you start, you also need to decide what kind of clients or what kind of an audience you would like to cater to. See, after the lockdown, or even before that, people were extra health conscious, and we at Meraki wanted to bring out a lot of healthy options that would please a kind of niche audience, I would say. It's not for everybody, but we wanted to cater to a niche audience. So we had a lot of healthy breads that were coming out, which were made out of 100% whole wheat. There were cookies which were made from 100% whole wheat, and we did extremely well in that field. So there are people who are coming from really far away to get our breads and cookies. So experiment and see what else can be done, and what more can be done. What are people actually wanting, what are people actually asking for, and that is not available in the market. We need to figure that out first. Yeah. Is there anything anybody wants to ask? Anything I can help with? You can put your questions in the comment box. Also, if there is anybody who wants to step into this field, I am always available. You can contact Manas or Riverba for the number. I'm also personally always there at my outlet most of the time. So if anybody needs a little help in the field, I'm always available for help. Is this easy to be an entrepreneur? Nothing is easy, Manas. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights to be an entrepreneur, or anything else. Even if you're in an office working and you want to do well in your career, it is not going to be easy. But whatever it is, just make it worthwhile. It's never going to be easy. Also, take baby steps. Don't aim for a huge revenue at the first year. Take baby steps. See what works out for you, and also, every business is unique in its own way. So you have to find out what works well for you. How's doing business in Guwahati? Guwahati is good. Guwahati has a booming market in most of the fields now. There are a lot of new concepts coming out, a lot of new ideas coming out. People are very cosmopolitan. They are very accepting to new ideas. We don't have a lot of taboos here. So yes, people are very welcoming to new ideas. If your product is good, and if you're good at marketing it, if it's well priced, you will have a market for it for sure. Is regulation supporting? Yes. All you need is, if you are operating from home, you will need an FSSI license, which is pretty easy. It's centralized, and you don't even have to go to the office, because for home bakers and people who are catering from home, you can do it from the website itself. You can do it online. For somebody who has an outlet, you probably need to go to the office once or twice, or you can even apply online. So that is pretty much hassle free. Also, if you have an outlet, then you'll have to get a municipality license and an NGO license. So these are the 3 things you will need. But they're pretty much hassle free. If anybody wants numbers or contacts with it, please let me know. I'll be very happy to help. Anything else I can help with? Demand and supply in this business. See, demand and supply, you'll know what your product is and what kind of audience you're catering to. So cakes is something that everybody will need. There are birthdays, there are weddings, there are anniversaries, there are celebrations in offices, there are so much that going on. There's so much celebration that going on, and every celebration needs a cake. At least I say that if it's a celebration and doesn't have a cake, it is not a party at all. It is just a meeting. So you have to create the demand. You have to see what your product is and what kind of market you're catering to. Demand will always be there. Thank you, Manas, for having me here. Thank you for letting me use your platform for educating. It's been a very, very good time here. Order my products. You can WhatsApp me. You can send messages over Messenger, or just check our page. It's Meraki Cakes on Facebook and Instagram, and also just drop in at our outlet. We are mostly there at our outlet. Not yet. I haven't made any collaborations with Zomato as of yet, but we are soon going to have either our own delivery system, or will be collaborating with Zomato or Swiggy. And there are more delivery partners that are coming up in Guwahati. So yes, we will be collaborating soon. Anything else, or if there are any queries, please WhatsApp me. Please send me a message on Messenger on Meraki Cakes, and I'll be very happy to help. Thank you, Manas, once again. Thank you so much. I'll be ending now. Thank you.